Hi, everybody. Happy New Year, and thanks so much for joining me. Before we get started, please take a second to click subscribe to my channel to keep up with all of my latest investing and personal finance content. And please check out the link you see on your screen for a message from our sponsor, The Motley Fool, where you can get the top 10 stocks to buy right now. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I have my friend Tyler Crow here with me today, and we're going to be a little pessimistic today. People know me as kind of an eternal optimist. I always try to find the good in every situation.
But that's why you have me on, Matt.
That's why I have you on.
I dump cold water on everything.
You're like the little guy on my shoulder telling me not to buy certain stocks. So we're going to talk about stocks that have kind of disappointed us so far that we're planning on selling if they don't really do something impressive in 2023. And for me, no stock stands out more than Zillow. I bought Zillow, and I know you don't agree with my thesis on Zillow originally. It was because of its iBuying business, and because my general thought was that no company in the world has more real estate data than Zillow. They've been developing this estimate for well over a decade now. No one has a better valuation model than Zillow, was my thought, and iBuying was really heating up, and my thought was that Zillow will be able to leverage its iBuying or its data to make it the most profitable iBuyer and drive out all the competitors. Clearly that didn't happen. Not only did Zillow not become the best iBuyer, they were the worst iBuyer. They ended up pulling the plug on their iBuying business not too long after I bought shares, and they're pivoting toward, one, a focus on their core business, the premier agent services and stuff like that, and two, developing what they call the super app. That's the part that I'm not sold on. I love their core business. Their core business is profitable. Another big part of my original thesis was that while they're developing iBuying, unlike a company like Opendoor or Offerpad, Zillow has that profitable core business to be able to absorb some short-term losses. So I love their core business. I'm not sold on the super app. I think if they wanted to develop an app that could, generate third-party leads for other iBuyers, or, just kind of be an all-in-one real estate place, they could have done that 10 years ago. I'm not sold on the super app. Tyler, I don't know if you're a Zillow shareholder, but I know you have thoughts on their stock. So what do you think on that?
I am a shareholder, actually. The thing that I'm kind of with you there is in the sense of, like, I think the core business is good. And to be honest, I wish they would just do the core business and be like, this is who we are. We're good at it. We make money at it, and we can return cash to shareholders as a result of it.
The stock would double.
Absolutely. But, there's this thing, and I don't know, there's that incessant Silicon Valley, we need to disrupt everything and do everything all at once. And it's like, but why can't you just do what you're good at? And it's really what I wish Zillow would do. If it can pull a rabbit out of its hat with a super app, great. But I would much rather see them just kind of focus on being what they are and do what they do well.
So I know you have some stocks that are on your list, and I think the one you're planning on selling is very similar to mine. So what is your stock that you're planning on selling if it doesn't get much better?
I mean, to be honest, I don't know why I haven't sold it yet. It's a better question. It's Opendoor. We just mentioned it before. iBuying. I've been tentative on iBuying. You kind of talked me into it a little bit a while ago, and I've owned it, but I've been disappointed in the way in which it has operated. I've been a little concerned with, its ability to generate margin for the thing that it needs to do, generate, a margin on flipping a house, while, kind of warehousing it on its books and having all that interest rate and credit exposure and decline in market exposure. I thought the margin that they were commanding was not requisite of the risk that it was taking. And I think that's kind of bearing out with what we're seeing here. What's clearly the market doesn't think something's going to happen here. This is a $600 million company with $2.2 billion of cash on the books and a real estate portfolio worth a couple $1 billion. So, like, if the management said tomorrow, I'm just going to stop and just liquidate the whole company, it's worth multiples of what its market cap is. And so I don't know what's going to turn it around? Are we going to have some, go housing market again that's going to allow them to, ride that wave? I don't really see it. So maybe I'll stick around or see what happens in this quarter, but they're not really giving me a lot of reasons to stick around.
Yeah, well, you kind of hit the nail on the head there that they're not giving us a lot of reason to stick around. I'm an Offerpad shareholder, which is almost the same thing. They do things a little differently. And the reason I went with Offerpad is that they're a little bit more, I guess I would say, efficient focused. They weren't focused on growth at all costs as much as Offerpad or as much as Open Door was. But I have to agree that that right now they're getting rid of the inventory that they bought at the peak. So you mentioned that Open Door has 2.2 billion of cash, multiple times its market cap. It's kind of a foregone conclusion that they're going to lose money on their current inventory. The question is how much money. If their losses are manageable, then there is a path forward. If they're sitting there with billions of dollars in the bank still, or even if their cash on hand goes down to $1 billion, there's still a path forward there. Right now is the environment where iBuyers should be able to do better. In other words, there are people who can't sell their homes right now, so they might be willing to take a little bit less, and their inventory costs could go down significantly. iBuyers, I mean, for lack of a better term, want sellers who are desperate to sell. And you're starting to see a little bit more of that. You could see a lot more of that in 2023. So I think there is a path forward. Personally, I'm holding on to Offerpad because, one, I don't need any tax loss sales right at the moment. And two, because it's come down so much and now it's a small enough portion of my portfolio that what am I really going to do with it if I sell? So I'm holding on for the time being, but there are parts of me that I don't know why I haven't sold yet.
Yeah, there's almost like the reason to get rid of it is because I don't want to just look at it in my portfolio. I just don't want it there.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me. I will check back with this in a couple months to see if we actually ended up selling those or if after a few quarters of results, they've maybe changed our minds. So we'll have to revisit this one later this year. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with The Motley Fool to bring you 10 stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beaten the market by more than 3 times. So go to fool.com/Frankel to get your 10 stock picks now. The Motley Fool Stock Advisor returns are 338% as of 12/21/2022 and are measured against the S&P 500 returns of 110% as of 12/21/2022.